Wear category. The Wetlands Ready to Wear category is what beavers would wear when out in nature, sunning herself by the stream or participating in the water sports or doing some manual labor, such as building a dam. Let's see what these outfits and contestants have to show you. We welcome to the stage Buddy Beaver. Buddy Beaver seemed like a pretty normal kid right up until puberty, except that his first word was merkin. Anyway, some critters get acne and some start smelling weird, but Buddy just got the power to do small miracles and forgive sins. I don't want to bore you with the details, so you'll just have to trust me on this point. It was a confusing time, and Buddy felt he needed to go into the world to figure out things. He'd heard some urban tales about the city and decided that it was the perfect place. Still, leaving the wetlands with its crabtree spaces was scary, and he didn't want to go alone. Buddy asked his two friends to come with him, and they didn't have anything better to do, so they agreed. Before long, it was getting late, and so they stopped by the river. It was getting chilly, and suddenly they realized that none of them knew how to start a fire. Buddy supposed this was as good a time as any to show off his powers. He gathered some sticks and set them on fire with the touch of his finger. His friends were suspicious, as it was vaguely reminiscent of a magic trick that they'd seen before. Buddy told them they hadn't seen anything yet. Next he got some river water, snapped his fingers, and offered to his friends. They were blown away. It was almost as good as the stuff Buddy's uncle brought over from the last solstice. And that guy swore a real wine authority. Buddy and his friends slept very soundly, and the first thing in the morning they headed toward the city at full steam. It was nothing like the wetlands. When it hit Buddy, he was meant to use his powers to help people by bringing joy, understanding, and acceptance to them. They eventually found a little patch of greenery, and Buddy started sharing the gospel of peace and love. Before long, a small crowd gathered. They gathered to hear his words. One of the listeners was a young muskrat in a black dress. Ms. Muskrat had so many questions. Where did they live? Where was their church? What was written materials were available? When she heard they just planned to wander around and hadn't bothered to write anything down, she was just furious. That just won't do, she said. Right then, she decided she would handle everything. The next day, she gave them a banner that read, Church of the Immaculately Groomed. They looked at each other skeptically, but she told them she'd made an appointment for them all at the salon for the next day. There was one little catch, and she didn't have the money to cover it, but she did have an idea how to get it. It was open mic night at the Meadow, a coffee shop that just opened on the nice side of town. If Buddy shared this message there and asked for the people to donate to the cause, they could take the first step to reaching a wider audience. When it was Buddy's turn, he walked up to the stage and started speaking. Welcome, my buck-toothed brothers and sisters. Before I start this sermon at the Meadow, I do want to point out that my dear sister Muskrat is walking through the crowd right now with a box for donations. So if you feel moved, please show us the love by shoving whatever you can into her box. And do not worry, my friends, her box has room enough for all. The audience looked doubtful, but Buddy started talking. The faces changed to joy. After he finished, there was quite a line of people waiting to get their turn with Sister Muskrat's box. Buddy knew then that one day soon he would preach again to an even larger audience. It would be his magnus opus, a wetlands revival, the likes of which has never been seen before. You are lucky. You may be around to hear the good news. Thank you, Buddy.